If there was a device that could tell you exactly when you would meet your soulmate, would you want to know? How's it going, everyone? My name is Yeager, and I'm going to be talking about a hidden gem of a movie and one of my personal favorites, TiMER. This movie came out in 2009 and does not get enough credit for its originality and the messaging that it has throughout the film. What is this movie about? TiMER is a popular device planted in the wrists of people and tells them when they are going to meet their soulmate. The movie follows love-seeking Una, who suffers with a blank timer, while everyone else's timer is setting off around her. As she slowly reaches 30, she starts to worry if she will ever find her soulmate and decides to have a little fun with her blank, unknown time. First, let's talk about the trope that TiMER has to be considered a cult film. The actors and crew involved. Starting with our leading lady, Emma Caulfield. Up until this movie, she's had a lot of TV appearances. Her first big break was when she played my favorite character, Anya, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. After that show wrapped, she had another big project with horror cult classic, Darkness Falls. After those two projects, she starred in TV movies, but nothing big. Her supporting cast is rounded with Michelle Borth, who had roles in smaller movies and shows at the time. John Patrick Amadori, who starred in Gossip Girl, had a small part in Almost Famous and The Butterfly Effect. Desmond Harrington is one of the only ones with some credits to his name, with my personal favorite, Riding in Cars with Boys, Ghost Ship, and Wrong Turn, not mainstream movies but still adored by fans. And Jo Beth Williams, who had a bigger resume than all of the cast in this film, but was not in big projects upon filming the movie. She was in Kramer vs. Kramer, Poltergeist, The Big Chill, and Dexter. And it's also worth noting that this was writer-director Jack Schaefer's first film. The talent in front of and behind the camera barely had enough credits to their name, making it easier to film and the budget to be cheaper than it would be if they got a nameless talent like Sandra Bullock or Leonardo DiCaprio. The time period of filming. Most cult classics are filmed around important periods of time. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed during the oil drought and rural abandonment in the country. The Night of the Living Dead was filmed around the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement. TiMER was filmed and released in 2009, a time when cell phones were on the rise and getting bigger. Everyone had to have one. When I was in high school around this time, unless you were rich, no one had a cell phone. After I graduated, pretty much everyone had to have one, and even now it is a necessity to life. The budget and box office reception. While there is no confirmation on the budget, the film was only released in a handful of theaters and grossed about $46,000. But that's okay. Cult classics typically do poorly at the box office. That's what makes them classics. The critic and audience reception. The reception is still widely mixed. One critic writes at the time of the release, "This film is proof that there are still some original ideas out there. TiMER is a brilliant concept that is perfectly executed. I was blown away by what first-time writer-director Jack Schaefer delivered on screen. Jack's writing is inventive, and her dialogue is equally clever and hilarious." Then we have reviews from 2024, not that long ago. "This was the most perfect rom-com ever, until the very last scene, when the writing took an absolutely ridiculously turn, and they turned a beautiful story into a sour, bitter mess. Don't waste your time on this one." The deep, insightful, but mixed messaging. So let's talk about this ending. If you were to watch this with a group of your friends, I can almost guarantee that the reception in that room will be mixed. Most of the people I know that did not care for this film tell me that the film is great and the story is great until the end happens. That is where, in my opinion, it gives you the harsh truth about what love is like and how it goes. And so it doesn't win over everyone. But that is what cult classics do. They are not for everyone. It is not mainstream. It is divisive and should be. That is what makes it great to watch over and over again. I like the idea of what this movie is trying to say. Love is unpredictable. It is hard and not everyone will be happy. But it gets better, so enjoy the journey. While it does not have the over-the-top acting and the bad effects, TiMER will live on and create a lot of conversation, just like the cult classics before it. And I can't wait to see that happen. While writing out this video, I thought about how sad it is for current cult films because they will not have the phenomenon and magic of VHS like cult films did before the 2000s. Most cult films back then got a resurgence from VHS years after their release. But then it hit me. Current cult films won't have VHS to keep bringing them back into conversation and gaining new popularity. Streaming will, and all those posts that you see on Facebook and Instagram that you know you've clicked on. Just like VHS did pre-2000, streaming and those posts will help resurrect films like TiMER in the future. It feels like cult classics will never go away. It will just evolve. TiMER, like all cult films, is timeless. It is a movie that has stuck with me over the years, and I hope that I get to see it get the recognition that it deserves. I hope you had a great time watching this video, and thank you for watching.